Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to our bi-weekly training session. All right, so as always, it's a privilege and it's my honor to be able to share with you the latest insights on health and wellness. All right, so for most of you, if you have been following us for a while, you know we have been in this whole gut space, right? This whole gut biome space for a while, and indeed it's a very fascinating area of science and research. But I think now it is a really good time that we revisit and we pivot back into the foundation of good health. Of course, gut health is important, but I think it cannot supersede and it won't be able to supersede, in fact, the importance of metabolic health. All right, your most foundational indicators of good health, like your sugar, your cholesterol, your weight, your fat percentage, you cannot run away from these figures now. So I think after a bit of time exploring some other areas of health is a really good time, in fact, to revisit and to have some new perspective into this topic. All right, so without further ado, give me some time as I share my screen. Okay, all right, I hope you all are seeing my screen because I can't see you. All right, so yes, let's go right into it. What controls your sugar level? Does genetic decide, or you can do something to change your fate? All right, so before we get into it, I want to revisit some really critical statistics that we talked about in our previous session. Okay, why is this important? Because it speaks into the reality that we are living today, the demographics that is happening right now, and as we move forward towards 2050. All right, so by 2050, individuals aged 60 years will double. And at that same time, those who are 80 years old will triple. All right, triple, mind you. So if you look at these figures, you'll be seeing a bit of a multiplier here, right? Okay, so there's 60 years, there's 80 years, and is that 100 years old? So ladies and gentlemen, I want to usher you into a new era, which we call centenarian era, okay, where individuals who have stepped into or past the age of 100 years old can crown this title. All right, I'm sure you know by now that the Unicity with this thing called the centurion pin, right? It's also like 100 kind of thing. So it does come from the same root word here, all right? So, well, it's really ironic because if we were to present this data like maybe 5 years or 10 years ago, people would think it's a joke, right? Like, why are we talking about this? This is like a very rare thing, you know. But now, it looks like we are indeed moving into this new era. And can you believe there's actually projection on this? Okay, so according to United Nations, all right, they said that the global centenarian population will increase by 8-fold from last year all the way to 2050. All right, and it says that now 80 years old is the fastest growing population group. Okay, so it's no more like children or kids, you know, or young adults, and we always have this perception that they are the fastest growing group. So it looks like now it's 80. And it's of no surprise that in the future, in about 10, 20 years, we will be moving to the 100 years category where it will be the fastest growing population group. So to be very honest, I'm not too sure how to feel about this. I'm having a bit of a mixed feeling because, of course, a part of me feel, well, okay, great, you know, humankind have reached a new milestone. We are able to delay death, you know, for a while, right? But another part of me is like, how would I be when I'm 100? If I were to ever be 100, right? And am I going to be like Mahathir? Then of course everybody is really happy, right? But can I control that? And how would I be at that stage? So that's why, you know, I want people to be aware about this, that they should start thinking about the future. So because of this, there's a lot of movement in the anti-aging space, I'm sure you know, right? Which I think is not wrong. In fact, it's very necessary. But I think there's a bit of a misalignment here because I personally think there is a bit of an overemphasis on external. Just to clarify, there really isn't anything wrong. If you want to spend a bit on your face, you want to look good, pamper yourself, you have the money, you want to do Botox, you want to be Kris Jenner, I mean, there's really nothing wrong with that. In fact, today I did a bit of effort, okay, to look better today. And people are like, wow, Claudia, why you makeup? I'm like, well, because I want to, and I feel good in it. And I think it's a very intrinsic, it's a very human nature kind of thing that you want to present your best, right? Okay, but while that is a conversation, which I think is healthy, it's necessary to have, but I think because of that overemphasis, it leads to a margin of people not paying enough attention to the aging that's happening inside them, right? Well, if you ask my friend, okay, I just went to this facial, like 500 ringgit, or a trip to the derm, it's like 1,000 for them. It's like, okay, it's worth the investment. But if you ask them, how about spending maybe a little bit more to improve certain areas of your health? They'll be like, let me think about it. It's not important to me right now, right? So it's like, really, is this going to matter when you are going to be like 60, 70, 80, and when you reach that age? Are those things going to matter? Are those things going to sustain you when you are really at that point where you can feel that your body is aging, right? So no amount of Botox can undo a deteriorated body. Okay, there's a lot you can do on your face, which is nothing wrong with that. If you do that without considering what is happening in you, then we are really missing the mark here. Okay, and I do understand why this thought comes. I think it could be it's an avoidance, people just are not ready to look at it, or they just don't see it coming because it's like a really long, distant future. But eventually it will get to you. It will get to you. If not because of you, it will be someone very close to you. So speaking from personal experience, I think it hit me when it happened to my mom, right? So my mom is, I know personally, one of the fittest and the most independent women that I have ever known. All right, she is really mobile in the sense that she's daring enough to go for a solo trip to Europe, to China, and she always go like 20 days, like 1 month alone, and she does all the planning herself. And she's really like, she went to base camp, Mount Everest, so she does all these kind of adventurous expedition. And the past 3 years was quite difficult, I think, the past 3 years, because that was when the signs started to appear. And you can see that the very first thing was her knees, okay, that she had to do a knee replacement. And after that, subsequently, it was just a deterioration, really. Her heart was not really healthy, and she had to stand. And like she couldn't even walk like 1 hour shopping, okay, and she has to sit down, she has to take a breath, and then only she can continue. So for someone who is so fit and so they feel like they have everything in control, and in that moment to really just have your strength lose you, I think that really does something to your spirit, I think. And I can sense that she was just a little bit depressed now at that period when she has to come in terms with how her body has declined at that time, right? So because of this, it struck with me, I think, this topic, and I think that we should have a conversation about how you should look into your health more seriously. And it's not just about spending the money, or it's really about investment. Because if it just got me thinking, what if my mom could do everything again? What if she can have the chance to start all over again? And what if at, like, say 10 years ago, or maybe 15 years ago, if she would have heard about Feel Great, would her fate be different? So I thought about it. I'm like, well, of course, I'm not God to say that she would be fine totally and she will not have any diseases. But I would say if you look at things statistically, rationally, it would have increased at least 10 years, or she would have been able to prolong her health span for another 5 to 10 years, then I would agree. I think, yeah, I think it could have definitely changed her life. And she could have enjoyed a lot more years being healthy. My mom is only 60, by the way. She's actually considered quite young. And to be going through so many procedures in these 3 years, it's quite heartbreaking to watch, frankly. And if you were to look at it this way, I would say that if I could have just invested a bit, okay, it's honestly not like a lot, but if just that little bit could have given you 5 or 10 more extra years being healthy, she can go and travel for another 5 years, 10 years, I would say it's just so worth the investment, frankly. All right, when we talk about investing in your EPF or investing into the biggest return, all right, 6%, easily we wouldn't think twice, we have just put our money inside. Okay, but when we think about health, it's something in the back of your mind, right? Oh, it's okay, it's not important. But I do believe in the principle of you reaping and sowing, because it will come back to you. So because my mom wasn't really very educated in terms of her eating, and frankly, her diet is really out now. All right, so if feel great you have came at that time, I honestly think she could have had a chance to live healthier, at least for a longer period of time. Right? So you have to make that decision. And if you're young, it's even better. You have a much longer head start to start investing earlier. It means you have many more years to be healthy. Okay, so please don't wait. And you decide how would you want to be at 100. Okay, so you start something, you have a higher chance to choose the future that you want. All right? So of course, as we talk about the topic of aging, we need to know what drives aging. What is that factor that will make us age faster? So, surprised or not surprised, is this word called sugar. So as you know, I've been talking about this for I think for 100 times already. Okay, at this rate. But whenever I research about this, and I always want to find a different answer. Okay, every time when I do aging related topic, I always wish to find a different answer, but I always come back to the same thing, which is sugar. Right? So it's still quite amazing in the sense that we haven't really graduated from such a simple thing, right? Common yet very simple. So why is this sugar, such a harmless thing that we eat, can lead to such big consequences? So sugar itself, it floats in our body and it goes out of our bloodstream. It really isn't much of a problem. But it becomes a problem when you start to bind to the protein in your cell. And once it forms a permanent bond with protein in your body, this is where problems start. Okay, which is what we call glycation. So why is glycation so harmful? Because it can do some irreversible damage to the membranes of your skin, to the structure of your skin, all right? Not just the skin, all right? Many other areas of the body. But this is just one example. It can interfere with the normal collagen elastin structure in your skin. It can harm your skin, increase and accelerate aging. If it bonds to the protein in the lens of your eyes, it can lead to increased risk of cataract. All right, so for those who are diabetics, you have 10 years early onset of cataract. All right, and your projection of getting it so much higher compared to someone who have a normal blood sugar level. Right, and glycation can happen anywhere. As long as there's blood supply to whichever part of your body, that area has a chance to have glycation. So it could be all these organs that we see on the screen. Now, high blood sugar, why is it so scary? Is because it increases your risk of having many diseases by different varying severity. So if you have high blood pressure, high blood sugar, you're 4 times higher risk of getting cardiovascular disease, 2 times greater risk of getting stroke, 50% chance of getting liver disease, and 30% chance of getting kidney disease. Okay, once you have high blood sugar, you are on the road of getting all these chronic illnesses. Right? I think it's quite scary, honestly. And glycation will speed up your aging process to as fast as 10 to 20 years. So you are aging for no reason, you're aging 10 to 20 years even faster than somebody who has a normal blood sugar level, right? So this is how harmful glycation can be. All right, but with that being said, glycation is not a death sentence. Okay, it's not like the end of the world and I've lost all hope and that's the end of me. Okay, in fact, actually there is a silver lining. Okay, with the right methods, you can do something about it. So healthy blood sugar management can significantly mitigate the risk and increase your lifespan. Right? So this is the silver lining. You can increase your lifespan if you have the right management. A study by CDC found that meeting treatment goals for blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, a person with type 2 diabetes can potentially increase their life expectancy by 3 to over 10 years. So at least you can still get back 3 to 10 years, which I think is really not bad. While a diagnosis of diabetes can increase the risk of a shortened lifespan, but a proactive and well-managed approach lead to a long and healthy life. So that means you have control, you can make the decision, you have agency, and you can change your fate. All right. So with the right methods, you can still align your health at the right track. So what is the fundamentals of healthy aging? So this is why you cannot run away from metabolic health. Like you can do all kinds of things, okay, but if your blood sugar level is just not there or your cholesterol is not there, it's just not going to work. Okay, it's like that foundation of house. So we have to go right into it and settle the problem. So how do we manage this? Really, it's just very simple, according to us. It's just 2 products and 1 practice. Feel Great comprised of 2 products, and we address the root cause. This is very important. Okay? It's not just a symptom, it's not just making it temporary lower, it's addressing the root cause. And we have to go into it by using 2 products, which is Bioslide S and Unimatter Lemon. All right, so with both of these, it can help you to manage your sugar level. So Feel Great, of course, many people ask me, okay, what is the deal and why do I pay so much attention to this? There are so many competitors, so many solutions. Okay, it's true. People can give you solution, right? But if whether is this solution something that fills your need, is very different. Okay, I can give you all kinds of solutions, but you can replace your meal, you can restrict your diet, you can change to another diet, you can eat different method, but that is the problem. It doesn't meet people's need. It's not practical. People cannot follow that every day. People have to deprive themselves and now losing momentum, giving up, disappointed, and they blame the product, right? So we need something that meet the need and is practical and affordable as well. So this is the problem. Okay, 3 meals is not a big deal because we eat that all the time. And that's the thing where once we eat, when you wake up, it increases, okay, then it increases again in the dinner time. But the big problem is we snack and snack and snack. So it's eating window all the time, which leads to high erratic sugar and insulin levels. And that is the biggest cause of glycation. This is why glycation is always happening because we cannot stop eating. So to prevent sugar and protein from forming, we do not want that irreversible thing to happen. So blood sugar control is the most important factor to prevent glycation. All right, to prevent that thing from happening, you have to manage your blood sugar control and to make sure glucose does not spike all the time. Okay, it should not be doing that in the first place. So what is Bioslide S? So Bioslide S is not just another fiber supplement, all right? It's Unicity's proprietary fiber blend and we have 7 different fiber types. So why we choose soluble fiber? You'll be saying, oh, I can use this thing and this plant or this. But the reason why we use soluble fiber is because it has one of the most strongest and longest science in this area of sugar and cholesterol management. All right, it's well documented and it's been verified by many health organizations. It's one of the safest and also one of the most effective. Hence why we decided to use this, and of course, we have our own patented formulation to create the matrix in such a way that it has a really good affinity in absorbing carbohydrates and cholesterol. that whatever food you take, it has this ability to bind it really well so that it doesn't increase or shoot up your blood sugar like how it should. So this is how it works, right? So this is what happens when you don't eat any bar stuff S, right? So after eating, your food will become sugar, especially carbohydrate food like rice and noodles. So then after that, it will be absorbed fast, okay? Because there really isn't anything to stop that from happening. So 100% in, 100% out. So clearly your sugar's going to spike, right? So this is where it makes a difference. When you take fiber, for example, Unicity's Balanced Life has, okay, this fiber matrix is able to absorb sugar, is able to absorb those sugar molecules, hence it's able to trap them and then reducing the impact of total blood sugar in your body. So because of this, it's able to absorb it, and hence you're not absorbing as much. And as a result, you reduce your total insulin spike as much as 27%, you know. This is very significant, okay? We're talking about natural food because it's not drug. And to be able to give these kind of results is very significant. So this too shows, this is one of our research that we found, that if you take Balanced Life as before meal, and after meal, straight away, after your food, your blood sugar will go down immediately. All right, and if this were to happen consistently in the lunch and dinner, imagine this happening for like 30 days or 1 year, 2 years or 3 years. The kind of impact it could bring to your body. All right, so that's why Balanced Life S has a very important role in the area of managing your blood sugar. Okay, so what does this do? Balanced Life S reduces blood sugar post meal. Okay, it reduces sugar spike, and more importantly, it reduces glycation, aging, and inflammation in the body. Okay, which is the most harmful component. Okay, that will lead to bad health. Next, we see this. Who is this handsome man? Well, not my husband, unfortunately, but this person is Messi. Okay. And just so you know, right, this picture is taken before AI. So before ChatGPT, so I want to say disclaimer, I did not edit anything. This is not like I go and Photoshop and put anything, no. So he is legitimately taking his World Cup trophy and drinking his yerba mate drink. Okay, so what is he drinking is yerba mate, and he swears by it. In fact, a lot of South American footballers, they swear by yerba mate to keep them going. And in fact, his whole team drink on yerba mate, okay, to keep them really focused in their game. So why don't we use this technology from Messi, okay? And what happens if we use that in our daily life? Then you'll be like Messi. I'm just joking, okay? So why is Unimate different? Okay, Unimate is not your standard kind of drink because it is ultra concentrated. Okay, we don't put that for no reason. If you look at the box, right, it's ultra concentrated. So why is this significant? Because our yerba mate, we invest a lot. Okay, Unicity invests a lot in Unimate, and we have a really special facility just to process this. Okay, we handpick it, we fire roast, we extract, concentrate, and we purify. So because of this, we have an ultra concentrated formula that if you were to take just the normal tea, this is like maybe 10 to 20 times even more concentrated. So you don't really need a lot. We can give you the kind of focus that you need. So what do I mean by that? So one sachet of Unicity Unimate has 10 times more chlorogenic acid. So this is really the main thing, the main active ingredient that gives the benefit. Okay, so it has 10 times more than 1 cup of coffee, and one sachet of Unimate has 20 times more chlorogenic acid than commercial yerba mate drinks. You know, so in one Unimate you are drinking like 20 or whatever that sells out there. Because I do have people coming to me and say that, oh, I can actually just buy yerba mate tea from Shopee and just make my own, you know. Oh yeah, you can do that, but I'm not too sure. How safe is it, number one? And number two, of course, are you really getting anything out of it, right? So not just only yerba mate, okay, but a really good ultra concentrated yerba mate. And what does it do? Okay, it's a very specific target towards fat cells. all right, it has a very specific mechanism towards managing fat burning and your appetite. It helps to control some of the cravings that you have and that sensor in your brain that tells you to eat, okay? And it helps you to endure that 16-hour fast. Sometimes 16 hours can be quite gruesome for some people, especially when they're starting off. So this is really very important to just get the metabolism going. It supports weight management efforts and your body natural production of GLP-1, which is a big thing now. Okay, so this helps you to get into that groove and of course your natural ketone production. So this is really good for those who are, if you want to just, increase your fat burning, why not? So how does this work is that it helps your body burn better. What do I mean by that? Basically, chlorogenic acid is able to target this very specific part of the cell, which we call the mitochondria. Mitochondria is an energy producing hub, that battery in your cell that keeps your body going. So this chlorogenic acid is able to increase this CAT1, okay, these proteins to surface on your body. So this protein, what it does is that it can encourage fat burning. So more of these CAT cells are being activated into your body. It means that your body has greater capacity to burn more fat. So chlorogenic acid can increase CAT1 and fat percentage. Okay, sorry, you burn your fat as high as 24%. We're talking about baseline, all right, not exercising, So at rest, okay, and just sitting down, okay, by just taking this, it really help you to increase your metabolic rate and your fat burning up to 24%. So I think that's just really good, okay? So if chlorogenic acid, it helps you to burn fat, all right, and target those areas, and of course, indirectly, it does help to manage insulin and all these kind of things as well, right? So with both of these, when you marry both of these together, it gives you the best result in terms of managing your sugar level, right? So it's a simple approach, but it produces incredible results, okay, helping you to burn fat in the morning and of course manage your sugar spike as you eat your lunch and your dinner. Okay, so of course, this is the very important part that I do want to emphasize. Okay, so what really is the function of BIOS Life S, right? So BIOS Life S and balance are typically the same thing. Okay, so we just finalized our discussion with the US team. So they say that balance would be eventually replacing S. Okay, we would want everybody to eventually have balance in their market. That's what they say. Okay, and we did clarify, is the fibers different? They say no, it's actually the same. Okay, just some slight change, but in terms of the fiber metrics, in terms of effectiveness, they say they actually both are good. Okay, so what is the function of this? Okay, so basically BIOS Life S and balance, they work to reduce the impact of carbohydrate and cholesterol. So it's really important, especially post-meal. And they are fortified with chromium. Okay, this is an additional thing, a mineral that is being studied to be able to manage and to maintain healthy normal sugar level. So this is an additional thing that is included to give us a better handle on our sugar management. And it helps to target blood sugar, HbA1c. It also helps to target cholesterol. So this is really for those who, you're looking into your blood works and stuff like that. So BIOS Life S and balance can help. And of course, Unimate 11, this is what we have always been thinking as well. But Unimate 11, their function really is more on focus, okay, targets your fat, cell-fat burning, your metabolic rate, manage your appetite, and of course, it does support natural production of GLP-1, ketone, and targets fat burning and weight loss. Okay, so both of these has very distinctive function actually. All right, and if you put them together, it's really the configuration. How do you pick them and incorporate them into your daily fuel regime? Okay, so this is our current plan, right? You know that currently we are encouraging 2 BIOS Life S in a day, then followed by Unimate. So this is our standard regime, right? So this is basically we're targeting the root cause, okay, which is sugar and cholesterol. So this is for those who have more concern in this area, that they want to have the diabetes issue, okay, that they have a baseline problem of certain lipid problems. Okay, then we go with this. All right, so eventually, Unicity, we will have this configuration. Okay, this will happen later on, where there will be a 2 Unimate option and 1 balance. So this is curated especially for those who have weight loss as their primary goal. Okay, so for example, you're going to get married like 2 months from now. Okay, you want to fit into that wedding dress, or you want to fit into that shirt that you wore like 30 years ago. You have this goal. All right, so if you're really into that, I think this is really good for you. Okay, it helps to really maximize that fat burning capacity. You can, really increase that CAT1 and manage your appetite very well as well. Okay, so this would be the new configuration that we introduced soon. So yeah, but of course, not to mention that there will be of course a price increase now, this new one. Okay, so this old one, okay, of course you can enjoy it at the price. Okay. All right, so the news for everyone, news flash, both Feel Great's version will increase price to 209. So of course I'll be passing the time to CK later on to explain more, but I would highly encourage you to at least sign on to what we are currently having to at least enjoy that package that we have right now at that special price, so that you're able to enjoy the benefits of having your sugar in good control. Right? So yeah, this is the end of my session today. Okay, so as you would like to type whatever questions you have, I would also want to reinforce what CK has shared. Okay, so basically this is a really special promotion and it's going to happen this one time only. Right? And previously we did a promotion as well, okay, during one of our calls. Okay, and it went like crazy. Okay. Okay, I'm not to say that that we are, but the promotion like the previous time, because we didn't have very high expectations, so it just finished up in 1 hour. So this time around we increased up to 100 sets now. Okay, so we hope that everybody has an opportunity, and once this is gone, it's gone, and at least through this time you're able to enjoy it at a better price, number one, and number two, you can try the balance. All right, so because balance is not available yet, so for those who are able to lock into this plan, you're able to try balance for yourself. Okay, so I think it's a really great way for you to start. Okay, or you want to just get into it, you are just beginning and you are wanting to learn more about Feel Great. So I think this is a great opportunity to bring someone new in. Okay, for those who have not heard about Feel Great. Okay, so I think this is actually a great way to start into this program. Okay. All right. So I think there are questions, right? Okay, yeah, so we have Mr. David Lee who asked us a question. Hi, just now you were saying the 2 Unimate package in one balance is for weight loss. Okay, so means that we only have 1 meal per day, or how does it work? Okay, so basically how does it work is that you take, there really isn't like a specific time frame when to take that second Unimate. So the first one, of course, is very clear to take in the morning. So in terms of taking the second Unimate, they say you can take before lunch or after. Okay, it's not like Bioslife S in the sense that you take during your meal or what. So this one is because you don't take during your meal, because during your meal, the second one wouldn't be able to work on your appetite centers that well. So I would recommend you to take before your meal, like you can take it maybe 30 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that, during your second one, so that you can work on your appetite centers and you will not feel like eat that much during your second meal. So basically that's how it works. And then the GLP-1 will start coming in and together with that first one you take. So the whole goal is for you to, is basically suppressing your appetite. Okay, that's what GLP-1 does anyway. And then your dinner, you just take the same, which is your Bioslife S, as your meal at the end of the day. Okay, so if you're going to go with this approach about weight loss, okay, and you are ambitious, okay, you can start on it, and in your lunch, if you can, then you don't take such a high carb meal. All right, so that you can mitigate some of that sugar spikes. Okay, but if not, then you take your second, they say technically you can take there's like a 30-minute window you can take before after your lunch. So if you've got, it's fine. But I personally think that you should take before your food, like 30 minutes, that kind of thing. So at least you can start that GLP-1 in your body. Okay, you can start producing at that time. So when you eat, then you can better manage your appetite control at the time. All right, so you have 2 meals still. You still have lunch and dinner. If you can, lunch, you take a lower carb meal. All right, so if I reactivate my subscription today, will I get balance in Unimate, or will still be Biostime S and Unimate? When will balance start delivering out? So if you reactivate your subscription today is great. Okay, you will get this balance 2 sachet. Okay, you still get this 2 sachet of balance you get to try. But I'm not mistaken, I think it's still on Biostime S. Yeah, so the new balance will be available in the I think it's the new configuration, which is during September 4, the 2 Unimate. Then there will be balance, but if not, it will be Biostime S for now. Okay. Okay, can I ask, is it still as effective if I take morning probiotic Unimate? Okay, that's great. Afternoon, balance, live fiber, and Unimate after lunch. Wow. Night balance. You're going to drink all of them together. I would say, since you're going to have balance, then you should have balance and live fiber first during lunch. Then after that, you take Unimate. Yeah, or you want to take Unimate first and then balance and live fiber. Can also actually, but I think it's a bit too much. You can space out the Unimate after lunch since you already have balance in your afternoon time. Then you can have Unimate after lunch, the nighttime balance. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so Omega Life 3 stimulates GLP-1 for blood sugar control. No, not really. I think GLP-1, so far our products, the one that produces the most is Unimate. Yeah, Unimate is the one. And then of course, Biostime Life S or Slash Balance also does give that kind of effect. Through short-chain fatty acid, it does produce GLP-1 as well. So from what I know, I don't think omega-3 helps to increase GLP-1 significantly. Okay, the updated formula of Unicity, is it being introduced in Malaysia as well as only in Singapore? So the plan is, of course, 3 countries, okay, Malaysia and Brunei as well. So we are working on registration. So Singapore, okay, is always the fastest market to get things approved. So for Singapore and Malaysia, we are also pushing to get it soon. We don't have a date yet, but we hope that we can get it to you soon. So, but you don't have to wait too long. It shouldn't take too long. Okay. Okay, so Michelle, the promo Sing 199, may I know what is the normal price? Normal price is also 199. Yeah, but because the price will be revised, okay, when it comes to September 4. Both also will be revised already, right? Both configuration. So this whole purpose of this promotion is to, for those who are new, who haven't tried, or for those who have dropped out for a while and they are lost, it's good to bring them back. At least they can sign on, and this is only until end of the year. All right, so we want them to continue to enjoy this benefit because once September 4 is going to increase the price already. So if you sign up, at least you can still enjoy 199 till end of the year. So this is the whole purpose really. Okay. Okay, Sharon Tan, I took Unimate and Biostime S, no result. If I take the new balance, will there be money back guarantee? What is balance and how different from Biostime S? Okay, of course, if I need to know, I need to have a more personal talk with you to know exactly why there's no result. Okay, about the money back guarantee thing, I'm not really sure. Okay, I suppose you can ask this to the customer service. But in terms of both of them, actually, their fibers that are verified, they're actually quite similar in the sense that they said initially I thought there's a difference, but according to them, there is actually still the same fiber, the same 7 types of fiber. So really, it's kind of similar, to be honest. Okay, so both of it is still to manage your sugar level and to manage your blood thing. But once there is this new configuration with 2 Unimate and balance, I think you can try that. Okay, maybe by switching the configuration and changing the way you eat and to take 2 Unimate, maybe that may work in your favor. Since I suppose that the weight loss is your priority here. So I guess you can wait for that. Okay, I'm currently a Unicorn member. Do I need to do anything when the balance kicks in other than a slight increase in price? A Unicorn member, okay. Do I need to do anything when the balance kicks in other than the slight increase in price? There's nothing you need to do actually. So depending on what configuration you are at. So if there's new balance kick in, just tick as normal. There's nothing that has to change. It's basically just, it's another BIOS as in essence. Unless you're talking about taking 2 unit mate, then of course that's very different. Right? So 2 unit mate, actually the way it is quite similar, just that you don't have to take so close to your meal time, like 30 minutes before or after, it's up to you. Okay? Okay, Mr. Muhammad Miftah. Hi, for the resubscribe promo today and tomorrow, we'll get the free shaker bottle and the 2 packet of balance. Just want to ask if I resubscribe. I guess so. Okay, I'm not very sure. But this is for new subscriber though. Okay, so ask your introducer. I think they will help you. Okay, so just ask your introducer. So am I right to say that you need mate in the afternoon, 30 minutes before lunch? Need to take balance before lunch. What is your plan actually? Are you planning to still take 2 balance, 1 unit mate, or you're gonna go into 2 unit mate? So if you're gonna go 2 unit mate, it's unit mate in the morning, then you take unit mate before your meal. Okay, I think 30 minutes is a good time. Then after that dinner, you just take your BASF S. But if you use your S, the only difference is that you take the S closer to your meal time, like 10 minutes or during your food, so that you can capture the fiber. You don't take like 30 minutes, that's just way too before the time. So that's just the only difference. I hope I answered your question. Okay, Claudia, you mentioned that you need 30 minutes before meal. If you take the 60 U at 30, correct. You can actually take it before or after, but I personally think it's before lah. So because you want to manage your lunch time. Okay, so you want your lunch not eat that much, right? So that is the thing. So unless you feel very tired after lunch, okay, then you want to eat after that, it's fine also. So they didn't really give a hard and fast rule, but personally I would say before meal, like 30 minutes, if you're gonna take the 2 unit mate package. Okay, I took like half a year. I only eat 1 meal a day, but no weight loss. Okay, I think this is you. I can definitely have a email with you. Okay, please write me an email. I want to know more in detail. I think if you have been taking 1 meal a day for a long time, then maybe you should change your diet for a bit. Yeah, it could be more than just what we're seeing is a deeper hormonal issue. All right, so please write into me, and I'll be happy to assist you from there. Okay. I have a customer subscribed FeelGreat before. However, due to a medical condition of atrophic gastritis, well, the Benjin also come out already, okay? She dare not use unit mate as it tastes sour and make a condition worsen, okay? She wants to lose fat. So what can she do in terms of product choice? I mean, if gastric is an issue, then I don't think she would suit the 2 unit mate configuration. I don't think her body can take it. Okay, so I would say I will still stick to the 2 BIOS S. Yeah, 2 BIOS S would be more suitable. And during her breakfast time, she should have at least an egg or 2 hard-boiled egg to eat together with unit mate to just curb that waste one, okay, that gastric thing that's happening. So yeah, I think that would be my condition. Okay, I have a customer who mentioned after taking unit mate depending on they increase heartbeat back to back. So it means that it could be too strong for her. Unit mate can be strong for some people because, like I said, it's ultra concentrated. It's true, it's really quite strong. So if that's the case, you just take half first. Ask her to take half first in the morning. Okay, then you space it for another 2 to 3 hours. Then you drink the other half. Okay, so it's not going to be a burst of like, wow, the photogenic one shot, so at least you can space it out a bit. So I would recommend her to take, you can still take the half in the morning, early morning, then you space it a few hours and you drink the other one. Then it will be like really good. It still work for her, I think. Okay, so disposable toilet. I actually think that will be good, and I hate. Okay, so Sharon Tan is okay, never mind. Yeah, write in, and if we need to have a call, we can always talk one of these days. All right, so for anyone else, okay, so looks like today we have quite a lot of questions. All right, yep. Okay, still got someone. Okay, experimented and tried to stop the FeelGreat system only 2 weeks. After using the FeelGreat for 6 months to see if I gain weight again and gain 2 kg within 2 weeks. Okay, sorry, it's a bit of a loaded question. I experiment and try to stop, okay, for 2 weeks after using the feel great for 6 months to see if I gain weight again and again. Sorry, I don't really understand your question. Okay, it's like, wow. Okay, you take for 2 weeks. You stop taking for, it means you stop taking for 2 weeks. Then you use again for 6 months. Okay, well, there could be many reasons. Okay, because there's a gap in between. A lot of things can happen in your body already by then. So I think only 2 weeks after using program for 6 months to see again if I gain. So sorry, actually don't really understand your question. So basically, if you have a break in between, okay, your body would have been different already actually. So it means that you may still have to take Feel Great for some time until you can see the benefit before you can change. Or if you have this problem, it's a good idea to change your configuration. So for example, if you take like two balance and two Bioscience S and one Uni Mate for like maybe 6 months already. So you feel like you are stagnant and you're not seeing anything, then you can always change to two Uni Mate and one balance one, you can change. Yeah, so this configuration is good in the sense that it gives people a chance to recalibrate. So like, for example, if you have this tendency or you gain weight suddenly, or you want to go back to adaptation phase, you can always switch things around, give it another 3 months and to see how it works for your body. So maybe because of this, you can break through the stagnancy, right? She stopped. Oh, okay, thanks. Okay, she stopped Feel Great for 2 weeks and gained 2 kg. Oh, yeah. So it means you did Feel Great, no? So it means you really need Feel Great. Okay. So of course, I do understand sometimes there are reasons why people want to stop, but after stopping for some time, if you feel that your body still responds better to it, then it's much better that you be on board. Or even at that time, if you want, you can even change your configuration. All right. So I hope I'm able to answer your question. All right. Okay. So is there any more questions? So if not, if there isn't any more questions, then thank you so much. Okay. So this session has ended for today. So remember to enjoy the promotion. It's only going to last for today. It's only for 2 days until Thursday, if not mistaken. Okay, so pick this opportunity if you have someone that you know that they are hesitant to try. Okay, come back on it, and at least at that time they can get a free shaker and full balance. That you have the first exclusive try. Okay, because it's not out yet, so this would be able to give you a taste of how the new balance would be. Oh, sorry, today and tomorrow. Okay, my apologies. Okay, today and tomorrow only, and only 100 steps I remember. So first come, first serve. All right, so thank you very much, everyone. So looking forward to our next month. So next month is going to be a really interesting series as well, which we will be going into the new configuration, of course, and there will be something really exciting. Not too sure if I can review it yet, but there'll be a very exciting thing coming on. Okay, all right. So I'll be sharing to you the latest information when it's time. So at the meantime, thank you everyone for your time today. I hope that you learned a thing or two, and remember to invest in your health. All right, thank you so much, everybody, and have a great night. Bye.